What's up, guys? We're gonna build beats. Today I'm gonna be showing you guys how to finish off your beats once you have your melody made. If you guys haven't subbed already, it'll turn on do so. Go does up a lot. Let's hop right into it. So the last video we went ahead and on the second half we made a melody. So I'm gonna be using this melody as an example. The reason I want to do this is because I feel like a lot of people, they either don't do enough or they do way too much when trying to make the beat. When once you already have the melody, the beat is pretty much, I would say, 50% done. And all you have to do is just add a few things. So let's go ahead and get started with this. All right, so now I want to talk about variation. Now this can be very easy if you want it to be. Some people overcomplicate this and they try to do too much. Now, simple thing you can do, obviously, you can just copy it over, right? So you could copy it over and then you can take out some of the high points so that kind of the lower tones will just play and it'll kind of be smooth, right? And that will usually be the verse. But the problem is a lot of people do this when their main melody isn't finished, right? And then they wonder why it doesn't sound full enough. Well, that's because you didn't work hard enough on your melody, probably. Obviously that will fluctuate depending on the genre that you do. So if you like if you're doing a trap melody, you don't need to use all these notes, right? But for like something like this, like this emotional, right, you want to put a little bit more effort into it sounding really good. This is why we can just take out a few notes, right, and it still sound fine because we already did the work. Let me see, that might sound, and then we can even turn these down a bit, the velocity. And if you want to, you can add notes. I probably wouldn't do this for this one, but like if you want to add like a, let's see, do something real quick. Then we can copy this down, 1, 2, 3. It should be good enough. So just something smooth like that. You don't want to overdo it. You know, something like that. I think that's fine. I'll just keep it. I might remove it later, who knows. But that's gonna be it for the variation. It's pretty simple, but remember, your main melody needs to be finished. If it doesn't sound full, then you probably didn't work hard enough on it, right? You're probably rushing it. So make sure you take your time and make it sound really good. All right. Okay, so here's the guitar I'm using for the counter. And then for the counter with this or something like this, I would start it on this like low point. And the reason I'm doing this is so that it's not repetitive and we can kind of it'll sound like it's a lot more going on, but really it's not. We just kind of added a few notes on the end part, right? So you can use any instrument you want here. I'm gonna just leave this how it is because it's already its own melody, and over here we have more room since we took out those top melodies. So over here, we'll start our guitar melody. And what I want to explain, and this is why a lot of people, their beats aren't rappable once they add a bunch of sounds and they, you know, put all this stuff together, is because when you add these other sounds, you just randomly add them and you break the rhythm. If you notice these bass notes, that is our rhythm. Right, that is our rhythm. So when you create a whole new melody with your counter, they're clashing now, and now it's unravelable. So when you're making a melody, you want to make sure you stay along that. So I'm gonna zoom in, and then we can just kind of let's pull that up. Right, and I'm gonna let this ride out, right? Because you could, if you wanted to, just add like a little note, but you got to make sure you pay attention to the flow of the melody that you already have, right? You can see that this is obviously like a smooth part that you just let, you know, play out. So you want to kind of mimic that a little bit. Like something like that is fine, but you don't want to, you know, go too crazy on that part. So over here, we can see it starts back up. So I'm gonna probably mess around with some of these notes. Let's probably use that A sharp. And let's take this note. And then let's take these notes real quick. It'll let me. And Alt and use the scroll wheel to pull them down. Okay, and I think that's good enough for like some extra sounds. You can see it doesn't break the rhythm. So that's gonna be it for that. And this is pretty much the hardest part of the video. Everything else after this is just like drums and placement and adding sounds. So what I'm gonna do now is go over effects that you can use for these sounds to kind of make them sound a little bit better. Okay, so I just loaded up some effects, and this is just some things you can add to make it sound a little bit better. So obviously I have this RC20 here on my piano just to kind of give that sad like detuned effect, right? Okay, and this is the only one that I have. I turn off everything else. And then the Valhalla delay. You don't have to use this delay, but I just wanted a tape-like delay. And I just put it on the dull mode. So this will kind of make it a lot more ambient. Now this piano already has like effects on it, so it sounds a little bit more ambient. And then we have a stereo shaper. So what I do here is pretty much this will look like this when you first open it. So what I do is I turn these down, try to get it perfect, and then I just flip them pretty much. So it's a little bit wider. Yeah, so it's spread out. And then we can actually copy this onto the guitar too. The guitar, same thing. I just use this delay, this tape delay on it. I actually like it without it. So yeah, and then you know we can mix it and stuff, but okay, so those are just some effects you can use. So now let's get to making the drums. All right, so now we're on to our low end. Now this is where people mess up a lot. Like when people send me stuff and they say, hey, check my stuff out. This is literally where they mess up the beat, because they will completely forget about everything else and they'll try to be like, oh, I want to be the coldest producer in the world, so I want to make the craziest 808 pattern. You don't have to do that all the time. Okay, like following this and then adding a few notes, maybe turn some up an octave, will be fine enough. You know what I mean? So you got to think about what type of beat are you making. For me, this is like a slow, smooth beat, right? So I don't want to break that by adding some trap, super fast trap 808, right? I want to keep it smooth. So I would do something maybe like this. Probably want to turn these up a bit, right? Maybe do something like that. Like something simple like that. And then since this F is in there as well, we can just make that like a little octave jump somewhere just to get the tone in there. Let this off. Okay, there we go. All right, and then over here we can just add some variation. We don't gotta overcomplicate it. Simple as that, right? And it's smooth. We still got the vibe going. We didn't really break anything. So that is the low end, and this still applies to kicks as well. So we're gonna go ahead and do our snare and hi-hat. Okay, so now we're gonna do our snare and hi-hat. And if you notice, I picked very like small or like not soft, but like quick sounds to kind of match the vibe of this, right? So they're very like, they sound very weak, kind of, just to somewhat match the vibe of what I'm going for this beat, right? So with the snare, pretty simple. We can just simply just add this in, and then, you know, you could just kind of listen to it and see what you want to put. Right, and I think that'll be good. And we can just copy all this over. So for our hi-hats, let's go over here. Now with the hi-hat, this you can kind of get away with doing a lot, but I'm gonna still stick with the same thing. I'm gonna just kind of let the hi-hat play, stop, let the melody go along, and then kind of bring it back in. So I kind of like that one. I'm just take this pattern and just mess around. All right. All right, just something smooth. I don't, gotta make the best hi-hat pattern in the world. And keep it like that. All right, so just remember, stand kind of with the flow of the beat. You don't want to go against it with some sounds. Now the hi-hat can get away with. If you do just want to do a super fast one, you can. But so those are, I guess, the pillars. So now let's do like the percs. Okay, so now we're gonna do our percs, and the beat is pretty much done at this point besides like mastering. So I'm gonna actually pull these back so that they show up here, so I can kind of have a place to put these percs. I might fast forward through this a little bit because this is super simple, like just placing these little sounds here. Okay, I like that. And then just copy this all the way through. Okay, and then we can add this little clock. And I just, with sad songs and stuff like that, I like to add like the little clock. I don't know, I just like it. So okay, I like that. And then I have these pans, one to the right and one to the left. Okay, and that's just to kind of sell the effect, I guess. Let's see. I kind of want to see what these will sound like real quick. I kind of like both of them, so I'm gonna just use just double them up, turn these down. Okay, I like that. I like the little depth. So yeah, and then I'm kind of feeling something else. Let's save this. And I think the last thing we can add, I haven't really used these, where they at? Percs. just use this one. Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna use that for like a verse part, and I think that's it. I think that's good enough. It's enough depth in the beat. This video is going on too long anyway. That's just some stuff that I do at the end, just adding other sounds, trying stuff out to finish it up. So that is pretty much it for this video. I'm not gonna go into mixing because this video, like I said, this video is already too long. That's gonna be this video. Hope you enjoyed. Make sure to like, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.